Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Listen, today I want to share a story with you, and it's a true story. I'm older. I have kids. I have grandkids, and life is lovely. But I noticed on YouTube there's a story about some guy who was talking to a 15-year-old boy um, very inappropriately. I try not to judge anybody ever, what they got going on, their situations. I mind my business and I try to take care of communities, but it was disturbing. And then today I was like, oh wow, you know what? My dad was military, so I've always been on military bases because when I turned 17, I went in the military. And I was in the military till I was 32. And it was not until after I was 32 that I ever lived in an area that was not military. From birth to 32, all my neighborhoods were either on a military base or right outside of a military base. So I was 13 or 14, and I was a track runner. Some of y'all know I ran track. I thought I'd be in the Olympics one day, but I was in a car accident, hurt my knee. Still think I'm the fastest thing in the world, even at this age. So I love to race my grandkids. Once you get a certain age, I won't race you anymore. But anyway, I digress. I was walking. We lived in a place, and it was, you go down the hill to get to our place or you go up the hill to go to the stores. So I was walking down the hill, and this guy pulls up in his car, and I knew who he was. He lived down the street from my mom and I, and he was talking to me, and then he asked me, could he take me out? He already knew my age, but he asked, could he take me out? Now, mind you, I just told you I was 13, and he was driving. He was a soldier at Fort Leonard Wood, where we lived. We lived in a place called St. Roberts, right outside of Fort Leonard Wood. So I was 13, he was 21, and he asked, could he take me out? I was a super shy, around guys. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, I was shy. But I told him I'll ask my mom. I didn't know what else to say. I'll ask my mom. And I went home, and of course I didn't ask my mom, but I told my older brother. Now, I have two older brothers. I'm the only girl, I'm the youngest. There's three of us. So one brother is 7 years older, the other one's 5.5 years older. It was the one who's 7 years older than I. He was also at one time Mr. Missouri and Mr. Atlanta. He's a big guy. My oldest brother, he's really big. I told my brother, and he never says anything to me when I used to tell him stories like this. But of course, I found out later. Yeah, he wouldn't handle that. I don't think I ever seen that guy again, and I do mean ever. And he would have to pass where we lived to get to his place and from his place. Never seen him again, so I don't know if he's still alive, y'all. To be honest, but I just want to say, even back then, there have always been creeps. There's always been creeps. So it's your job, if you're a mom, a dad, a grandma, a grandpa, auntie, a uncle, a neighbor, a teacher, it's your job to not only speak to the youth, but look at what they're doing. When my kids were younger, I would just periodically, hey, phone check. Take their phones and check them. I am honestly proud to say I never found anything crazy ever in either kid's phone. One time my oldest daughter was cussing like crazy, but that was it. That was it. No inappropriate conversations with grown men or talking about sex or drugs or anything, but I was one of them parents too. I was quality time, and I'm not your friend, I'm your mom. So you guys just, it's time for me to get my bread out of the oven, but you guys just really do your part, because that was a disgusting thing for me to hear and see. And then the ownership of the situation, there was none. It was actually my fault and your fault if you found it disgusting for a 30-something-year-old man to be telling a 15-year-old boy to have sex with another man so he could be inside of him. And other things were said, but I don't want to get into that. That's not my point. My point is, do your part. And let's get kids back to being kids again. I did a whole podcast about kids being kids again. Let's let the kids be kids and not worry about these deviants. Have a good day, y'all. Bye. Get my bread out of the oven.